Would you please stand for the national anthem, please? Would you please rise for the national anthem? And I would like to introduce, may I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? I would like to introduce our student vocalist, Mary Elizabeth Detweiler, who will do the national anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
That was beautiful. At this time, I'd like to introduce Reverend Dwayne Mosier, pastor of the Reformed Church of the Ascension, for the invocation. Reverend Mosier. I haven't seen him. He must have been detained, so we'll move on. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the association and new inductees, welcome to the 27th Annual Hall of Champions induction ceremony. I promised as the president of our association to try and make our program a little shorter for your enjoyment. Please note my formal written welcome is on page 1 of your program for you to read at your convenience. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our superintendent of schools, Dr. Lisa Andraco. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome. On behalf of the Board of School Directors and the administration, we welcome you to this wonderful event. I have just 2 things I want to talk about today, and I'll do them very quickly. I think they can certainly take me a couple hours if I needed to. But first, I just want to brag a little bit about Norristown Area School District. And since many of you haven't been back here for some time, I just want to bring you up to date a little bit about some of the things that we've been working on here. One, for example, is you may not know that we have a full-day kindergarten program here in Norristown, and I invite you to come to see what that looks like and see what youngsters that are just first coming to school can do by the end of a school year. They're reading and writing. We also have an exciting project here at our high school where we have taken a large school of almost 2,000 students and divided it into 6 small learning communities. And these communities are theme-based. They have to do with law and business and science and performing arts and visual arts. A very exciting adventure that we're going to continue in our middle school next year. We also, you may not realize, have the most cutting-edge technology of almost any of the schools in Montgomery County, with wireless laptops and internet connections, wireless in most of our buildings, a digital television studio. These are just some of the things that we're very proud of. That's the first thing I wanted to talk to you about. I invite you to come back and see those things. The second thing is a new and exciting adventure that I'm hoping you might be interested in. And in your program on page 73, there's an ad that describes a new venture here, and it's called the Norristown Area School District Education Foundation. And we are a fledgling organization. We're just beginning. Just last month, maybe 6 weeks ago, we elected a board of directors and committee members and people that will work to support the school much the way you do to support your organization, the Hall of Fame and the Hall of Champions. The mission is written there. It says to ensure the highest level of educational innovation and so forth, to do the kind of things that we just can't ever seem to get around of as a school district, to be able to support student learning, to be able to support staff development, and new and innovative things that just our district budget cannot support. So this is something new and exciting. So I'd ask you two things. If you're interested in being part of the foundation, and there's many ways you can do that, as a board member, as a committee member, and above all as a contributor, you can do so by the information that's on page 73 there, either by calling or using the web addresses or email addresses there. Again, on behalf of everybody, I would like to congratulate all of you that are being honored tonight. Best wishes, and please continue to support Norristown Area School District.
I will now call on Mr. Joseph Howell III, our high school principal, for a few brief remarks.
There you go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and on behalf of the high school administration, faculty, staff, and students, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the 2005 Hall of Champions Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Tonight, as we honor alumni who excelled in athletics while they were here, and those who distinguished themselves in their respective fields following graduation, we also add to that list of real-life success stories for our current students to emulate. I want to commend the Hall of Champions Association for their service to our school and extend my personal congratulations as well to this evening's inductees and to those current students who we're also honoring tonight, and all of your families as well. Thank you and congratulations.
At this time, I would like to ask Wilmer Cressman III to present the Louis Spinelli Memorial Award. Wilmer is one of our past presidents and chairman of the Spinelli Awards Committee. Wilmer?
Thank you, Bill. It is my distinct pleasure at this time to present the person selected for the 6th Annual Louis A. Spinelli Memorial Award. This is a very special award, and it is the only one of its kind that is given by an organization connected with a high school. The criteria for being selected for this award is dedication over time to viewing Norristown area high school sporting events. Mr. Spinelli was an avid Norristown area high school sports fan for over 60 years of his life. He also was a director of the Hall of Champions Association for many years. Our association created this memorial for him when he passed away at the age of 90 in March of 2000. A memorial plaque for Mr. Spinelli is mounted on a wall in the athletic wing of the school with the selected winners' names inscribed. We continue to search for nominees who meet the criteria for this award, and if you are such a person or know of such a person, please send the name and a summary of the sports fan attendance to the Hall of Champions Association in care of the high school. Our recipient for this year's award is Frank X. McDevitt, Norristown High School class of 1961. Frank has been a regular and enthusiastic fan of Norristown area high school sports since attending high school. He actually began watching Norristown area high school sports with the 1957 undefeated football team coached by the late Roy Kent. His favorite sports watching over the past 48 years has been football, basketball, and baseball. He has been a self-employed barber for the past 41 years at his shop at Main and Hamilton Streets in Norristown. He resides with his wife Jerry in Plymouth Township, and they are the parents of 3 sons, Sean, Scott, and Stephen, all graduates of Norristown Area High School. Mr. McDevitt, will you please come to the stage at this time to accept your award?
Thank you, Wilmer.
I have here a certificate that designates Frank as our Sports Fan of the Year for the year 2005. And Frank has been attending Norristown sports for almost half a century now. And I want him to know that he no longer will have to pay to come and see any more sports, as I have a lifetime activities pass on behalf of the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions and the Norristown Area School District.
Thank you, Wilmer. Congratulations. Thank you so much. It's really a thrill to be here tonight. I would really like to thank some people. First, my family and friends for being here, the Norristown Eagles for all the thrills they've given me, and a special thank you to the Hall of Champions for this award. This is really great. Thank you. I would like to call on Wilmer Cressman again. Wilmer will do the recognition of our previous Hall of Champions and Hall of Fame inductees who are here tonight. Wilmer?
Could we have the house lights, please? I would like to recognize many of our previous inductees who came back. It's so nice to see everyone, and we hope you keep coming back and helping us with these induction ceremonies. It really was great seeing most of you out there in the lobby before the program started. I'd like to call your name. If you would please stand and remain standing, and I'd ask the audience to hold their applause until we're finished calling all the names. From the class of 1953, Bob Barksdale. From the class of 1958, Tom Catanese. From the class of 1949, Bob Kane. From the class of 1948, Eugene Coder. From the class of 1962, Jim Williams. From the class of 1959, Hall of Fame, Roger Edelman. From the class of 1948, Hall of Fame, Frederick E. Lobb. From the class of 1949, Hall of Fame, Clarence Rader. From the class of 1955, Hall of Fame, Guido Martinelli. From the class of 1950, Hall of Fame, June Kane Miller Henry. From the class of 1974, Hall of Fame, Dan Delaney. From the class of 1959, Hall of Fame, Bob Beardelli. From the class of 1954, Hall of Fame, Oscar Johnson. From the class of 1957, Hall of Champions, Anthony Chunky Santillo. From the class of 1965, Hall of Champions, Dave Stagliano. From the class of 1951, Hall of Champions, James Randolph. From the class of 1958, Hall of Champions, Charlie Holmes. From the class of 1954, Hall of Champions, Robert McKay. From the class of 1954, Hall of Champions Frank Rinky Batson. From the class of 1981, one of our 3 dual inductees from both Hall Champions and Hall of Fame, Major George Hadrick. From the class of 1948 Hall of Champions, Park Ulrich. From the class of 1955 Hall of Champions, John Heist. From the class of 1951 Hall of Fame, William Markley. And from the class of 1960 Hall of Fame, Sam Miller. Please give them a round of applause. It's nice to see everybody.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our Norristown Area High School Director of Athletics, Mr. Charles Knowles.
Thank you. Before introducing our student athletes, I'd like to congratulate all the members of the Hall of Champions being inducted tonight. Thank the Hall of Champions for all they've done, and thank them for including our current students in the great traditions of Norristown Area High School that they are living up to. I'd like to introduce our Student Athlete Award winners. Sophomore, Brandon Ellis. Brandon is the son of Hilliard and Sabrina Ellis. He has played football for 2 years, indoor track for 2 years, spring track 1 year. He's earned 3 varsity letters, 1 in football, 1 in indoor track and outdoor track. First team All-Suburban 1 track and the 4x100 relay as a freshman. More importantly, he's on the honor roll all 4 marking periods as a freshman, won the Science Award for Excellence, and had perfect attendance. He's a member of the National Honor Society, and he's involved with the Willow Grove Youth Chapter of the NAACP, Kappa League, and the Northmont Go Twigs. Brandon Ellis. Our second sophomore winner is Mike Lanuti. Mike's parents are Tony and Kim Lanuti. Mike has played soccer for 2 years and freshman baseball. He has won 2 varsity letters in soccer, Coach's Award for freshman baseball. He's proud of being a 2-year starter on our soccer team. He's in the gifted program and a member of the National Honor Society. He's also the student rep for the engineering and technology community. Mike Lanuti. Lindsay Stauffenberg is our 3rd award winner for our sophomore class, the daughter of Jim and Stacy Stauffenberg. She has played field hockey for 2 years as a starting goalie, swimming and diving for 2 years, and soccer for 2 years. She earned 3 varsity letters as a freshman and 1 already this year in field hockey, and we're anticipating 2 more. She's proud to have been captain as a freshman of the first girls soccer team in Norristown Area High School history, and she also was selected team MVP. Lindsay's a determined competitor with a bright future, and she's also a member of the National Honor Society. Lindsay Stauffenberg. Award winners for the juniors, class of 2007. Catherine McGeaney. Her parents are Bridget and Charles Springer. Catherine has played field hockey for 2 years, swimming for 3 years. 4 varsity letters, 3 in swimming, 1 in field hockey. She received the Most Improved Swimmer Award last year. She's proud of her versatility in swimming and of her team, although small in numbers, finishing 3rd in the Suburban 1 League. Catherine is a member of the National Honor Society. She's very active in the community with activities such as lector at St. Francis of Assisi Church and active in the local soup kitchen. Catherine McGeaney. Our next junior winner is Ashley Mathis, daughter of Marlene and Nathaniel Mathis. Ashley has played volleyball for 3 years, earning 2 varsity letters. She was voted the best offensive player last year by her teammates and earned first team All-Suburban 1 honors this year. She had 27 kills in 1 game, which was a season high for the team. She's very proud of the team having made the PIA playoffs the last 2 years and also having been captain as a junior. Ashley has made the honor roll every marking period at Norristown Area High School. Ashley Mathis. Our last junior award winner is Sidney Scott. His parents are Cheryl Leary and Stephen Scott. Sidney has played football for 3 years and basketball as a freshman. He has earned 2 varsity letters in football, where he is now a 2-way starter. He's very dedicated in the weight room and the off-season program. He won a Distinguished Honors Award for Physical Education as a student here at Norristown. He has made the honor roll at Norristown Area High School. He's proud to be a 2-year starter, and he's shooting for a winning season tomorrow night against North Catholic. Sidney Scott. Our senior student athletes from the class of 2006. Dan Barbish, son of Dan and Karen Barbish. Dan has been a 4-year participant in both the football and baseball programs. He has earned 6 varsity letters, 3 in each sport. As a freshman, he was chosen the outstanding lineman. As a sophomore, he won the William P. Mullen Award. In baseball, as a junior, he was honorable mention All-Suburban 1. Dan's highlights are the memorable games he's played in and the relationships he's had with teammates. He prides himself on being unselfish and always giving 100%. He's a good student and a gentleman here at Norristown Area High School. Dan Barbish. Our next senior award winner, Chelsea Katita. She's here with her father, Jim, and her stepmom, Denise. Chelsea has been a 4-year field hockey player, also played softball and basketball 1 year each. Chelsea has earned 3 varsity letters in field hockey, and honorable mention All-Suburban 1 honors this year. The team was greatly improved this year. Chelsea's very proud of having beaten Kennedy Kemrick in her senior year and proud of contributing to the success that the team enjoyed this year. She's thankful to her dad for the love and support that he has given her, and Chelsea is a fine young lady here at Norristown Area High School. Our last senior student athlete is Herschel Thornton, the son of Hugh and Deborah Thornton. Herschel has participated in football 4 years, earning 3 varsity letters. He won the Coach Chick Award at the banquet. He's a starting defensive back who recently has started at tailback and has had multi-touchdown games. Last Friday night against Central Buck South, Herschel rushed for 269 yards. He has also this week been named the Athlete of the Week by the Times Herald. He's a quiet leader. He plays hard and leads with determination and example. He's unselfish and humble. He has a great attitude, and he's a great leader on this year's team, and he's a gentleman around school. Herschel Thornton.
While we're waiting for the screen to come down, just an announcement. Each of our inductees tonight will be given a copy of the congressional record from the House of Representatives on behalf of Congressman Jim Gerlach. So they will receive that when they receive their plaque. Thank you.
John Sewell III, class of 1954. An outstanding athlete, John was a varsity letter recipient for all 3 years as a member of the football and track teams. As a sophomore, our Hall of Champions inductee teamed with Charlie Bloxon to win the shot put crown at the 1952 Lower Merion Relays. In 1953, John Sewell won the Suburban Conference Championship in shot put. He placed second in the district meet that year and was fifth in the PIAA state title meet. In his senior year at Norristown, John won the shot put event in the District 1 meet with a throw of 49 feet, 11 3/4 inches. He finished second in the PIAA state championships and also placed second in the annual Meet of Champions held at the University of Pennsylvania. As a member of the high school's football team, John played as a lineman and linebacker, playing both offensive and defensive positions. In his senior year, John was accorded honorable mention honors on the All-Philadelphia area team as selected by the Philadelphia Bulletin newspaper. Following high school, John graduated from Morgan State University in 1958 with a degree in education. He played football and track at Morgan State, receiving all-conference honors in football in 1956 and winning the shot put title in the 1957 conference championships. John is retired as an electronic technician from Leeds and Northrop Company in North Wales, Pennsylvania. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome John Sewell III to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Good evening. I just want to offer some thanks to the committee for nominating me to be inducted into the Hall of Champions, and a special thank to Frank Batson, who got the ball rolling for me. And I'm glad everybody came out tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the evening. Thank you very much.
Willie A. Suber, class of 1958. His speed made Willie one of the greatest pure runners ever in the long history of Norristown High School football. Our Hall of Champions inductee was the outstanding halfback on the undefeated 1957 NHS football team, only the second unbeaten football team in the history of the school. Willie had the great ability to cut back at the right time, which, along with his speed, power, and vision, made him the outstanding athlete he was, earning all Suburban 1 League honors his senior year. Willie helped lead his Eagles to a stirring 7-6 win over previously undefeated Lower Merion. He also scored touchdowns on 66 and 70-yard runs against Phoenixville and ran for touchdowns of 21, 30, 69, and 54 yards in a 38-0 beating of Cheltenham. He also scored on a 70-yard run in a win over Upper Darby, a 32-yard scoring run over Chester, and closed out his high school career with touchdown runs of 29 and 25 yards over Upper Merion in the annual Thanksgiving Day game at jam-packed Roosevelt Field in 1957. Willie was a member of the school's track team, running the 100 and 200-yard dash events. Sadly, he died much too early in life, passing away at the age of 54 in 1994. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our honor to induct Willie Suber into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions. Accepting on behalf of Mr. Suber is Mr. Charles Holmes.
Good evening. First thing I'd like to say, I would like to thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to do the profile on Willie. Once I started, it was like reading a good book. You know, it was touchdown after touchdown. The guy was really unbelievable. We had an undefeated team in 1957, but it wouldn't have been possible without Willie. And looking over his summary, I played alongside of Willie, and he did win a lot of games late for us with big runs. Coach Kent often said that Willie was the fastest football player he ever coached. I'm honored to be here to accept this award for Willie, and I'm very, very happy that he is where he belongs, in the Norristown Hall of Champions. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Robert V. Mitchell, class of 1961. An all-around athlete who excelled in 3 sports. Our inductee took his accomplishments onto the professional level. In his favorite sport, Bob Mitchell played shortstop and was a relief pitcher on the 1961 Eagles baseball team. He batted .313 for the team that finished second in the Suburban 1 League race. On the hardwood, Bob was a member of the school's 1960-61 Suburban 1 League championship team that finished second to Radnor for the District 1 title. He led his Eagles in scoring with 250 points, averaging over 13 points per game during the regular season. Bob stood 6 feet tall and was a sure shot from the corner and the outside. In track, Bob Mitchell was a member of the NHS District 1 championship team in 1961. He set a new school and district record with a high jump of 6 feet, 4.5 inches. That was accomplished in his first scholastic jump after completing his baseball season. His record high jump broke fellow Hall of Champions inductee Bob Barksdale's mark set 8 years earlier. Bob signed his first professional baseball contract with the Boston Red Sox organization in 1965. He also played with the New York Yankees and Milwaukee Brewers, and also played in Japan with the Nippon team. In 1978, Bob was a Japanese All-Star team member and won the league's home run title with 36 round-trippers. Bob is a retired peace officer for the California Department of Correction and resides in Sacramento, California. At this time, let's welcome Robert Mitchell to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Couple words? Okay. First, I want to thank the Lord, so I'm here. Then I got the Mitchell and Fisher family that raised me right. I want to thank them, and half of them are out there now. Then I want to thank a few guys. Sky Cotman, Hank Simmons, Bob Bainey. Charlie Holmes was one, too. He's sitting right over there. He helped us. And Drip and Manny Waldrop. Other than that, I'm finished. Thank you.
Angela Henry Lee, class of 1987. Our newest inductee left her indelible mark on her Norristown Area High School athletic accomplishments in just 2 years of competition, as she did not take part in her sport during her junior and senior years at our school. She was captain of the indoor track team and was co-captain of the outdoor team in 1984. As a freshman, Angela won 4 medals in the 1984 PIAA state title meet: the silver medal in the 40-yard dash, the bronze medal in the 100-yard dash, and ran a school record second leg in helping her team win the 4x100 relay, and won a silver medal in the 4x400 relay, setting another school record. In the 1984 District 1 championship meet, Angela also won 4 medals, a gold, 2 silver, and a bronze in her events. In the Suburban 1 championship meet that same year, she won 3 gold medals. In a PIAA coaches state track meet held in 1984, our inductee won 3 medals: a gold in the 300-meter dash with a second record time of 36.3 seconds, a silver medal in the 880-yard relay, and a bronze as a member of the mile relay team. She attended both the Montgomery County and Philadelphia community colleges and is a graduate of the Catherine Gibbs School. Angela is presently a medical secretary for the Christiana Care Health System in Wilmington, Delaware. She and her husband reside in Newcastle, Delaware. It's our pleasure to welcome Angela Henry Lee to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Thank you. I would like to thank the committee for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight. I want to thank my coach, Joe Hadrick, for being the best coach that anyone could ask for. And I would like to thank my friends and family for coming out and sharing this evening with me. Thank you very much.
Melissa Mary Kelly, class of 1998. Basketball and softball were her sports, but what kept her on top of her games was her speed, tenacity, and the ability to play those games with gusto. Starting in her freshman year of basketball, Melissa continually improved as the years went by. In her first year, our inductee averaged 7 points, 5 assists, and 7 tips per game, and was named to the second team All-Suburban One League. As a sophomore, Melissa averaged 13 points, 7 assists, 8 steals, and 4 rebounds per game. This time, she received first team All-Suburban League honors. In her junior year, our inductee averaged 14 points and 6 steals and was selected to the All-Suburban One League first team. Playing as a senior on the basketball team, Melissa averaged 14 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, and 4 steals per game, and again was named to the first team All-Suburban One League. She also was named one of the top 10 players in Montgomery County. She was voted Comeback Player of the Year after missing the first 15 games of the season with a broken hand. Moving her athletic prowess to softball, she batted .500, scored 26 runs, and had 41 stolen bases as a designated hitter, and received postseason All-League honors. In her junior year, she played outfield and shortstop during her senior year, gaining All-Suburban League recognition both years. Our inductee attributes her playing ability to engaging in competition with boys, which taught her to be tougher, both mentally and physically. She received a full scholarship to Philadelphia University, where she played basketball all 4 years of college. She was named assistant women's basketball coach at Philadelphia University in 2005. She received a BS degree in 2002 and an MBA degree in 2003 from Philadelphia University. Melissa is employed by Corbett Inc. of Norristown and resides in Norristown. And now it's our great pleasure to welcome Melissa Mary Kelly to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Champions.
Hello, good night. I just want to say thank you for all the people who nominated me, for the committee for selecting me, my family and friends for supporting me, my coaches, my teachers, and of course my parents. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Norristown Area High School Marching Eagles Band, the direction of Mr. Brian Kozacek. It's my pleasure to introduce this year's outstanding student scholars, and I regret that due to some work commitments and some school commitments, a number of them could not be with us this evening. I would ask those who are, as I read your name, if you would come up from my left. And we begin with Min La. Min is a 10th grade student in our Law and Justice community, a member of the N Club and Key Club. Congratulations to Min. Next is Gabrielle Tomasco. Gabrielle is a 10th grade student interested in the arts and thus a member of our visual arts community, and like all of this evening's recipients is in the top 10 of her class academically. Next is Allison Vanderslice. Allison is the third of our 10th grade students, a member of our performing arts community. Allison is a member of nearly all of our music organizations here at the high school, band, chorus, and orchestra, and a member of the tennis team. Congratulations to Allison. Our first 11th grade recipient is Nina Lee, who is a member of the health science community. She is in the chorus, the Pennsylvania Math League Drama Club stage crew, plays tennis and lacrosse, and is vice president of the Asian American Club. Next is Jennifer Moses. Jennifer is an 11th grade member of the Law and Justice community. She is active in peer mediation, Key Club, Drama Club, Math League, Reading Olympics, and is a member of the National Honor Society. Please welcome Jennifer Moses. Next is Lisa Senna. Lisa is also an 11th grade student, a member of the performing arts community. She's a member of the stage crew, has been actually controlling much of what's been going on here this evening. Active in our Comm Center, a production member of our Eagle News program, and a member of the National Honor Society. Congratulations, Lisa Senna. And we have three seniors, the first of which is Jackie Kampmeyer. Jackie is a member of our business and finance community, active in DECA and the Math League. She plays field hockey, softball, as a student council cabinet member, president of the class of 2006, and recording secretary of the National Honor Society. Please welcome Jackie Kampmeyer. Next is Soumya Maru. Soumya is a senior member of the health science community. She's captain of the tennis team, co-president of the Asian American Club, a member of NAHS, the Drama Club, the Band and Chorus, Student Council, the Math League, the Eagles of Nature, and the National Honor Society. Please welcome Soumya Maru. Congratulations. And our last recipient is Zainab Sheikh. Zainab is also a member of the health science community. She is co-founder of the Science Club, president of NAHS, co-president of the Asian American Club, and a member of the tennis team. In addition, Zainab is currently serving an internship at the Fox Chase Cancer Center. Congratulations to Zainab Sheikh. And congratulations to all of you. Thank you.
James R. Kiola, Esquire, class of 1926. His achievements in criminal law and his contributions to the law enforcement community as well as service to help the underprivileged are hallmarks of our Hall of Fame inductee. Following his graduation from Norristown High School, James Kiola received his bachelor's degree from American University in 1932 and his law degree from Georgetown University 4 years later. In 1945, Mr. Kiola was instrumental in helping to establish the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge Number 31 in Norristown, and assisted in the preparation of the first pension in Pennsylvania for Norristown police officers. For many, many years, Jim Kiola gave his time and talent to Camp Rainbow, a nonprofit camp for underprivileged children from throughout Montgomery County that continues to serve youngsters to this day. His many honors over the years have included the Distinguished Service Award from the Greater Norristown Jaycees and the Fort Chaplains Legion of Honor. Our inductee was a founder and first president of the Norristown Republican Club and served on the board of the Child Development Center. He was also a member of the Montgomery and Pennsylvania Bar Associations. A noted lecturer on criminal law, over the years he spoke at King's College in London, as well as at seminars in Paris, Rome, West Germany, and Puerto Rico. He also conducted courses for FBI agents on courtroom procedure and effective presentation of evidence. Mr. Kiola died this past February after a long, distinguished life. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us honor James R. Kiola as we induct him into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame. Accepting on Mr. Kiola's behalf is his son, Frank.
Thank you very much, Mr. Markle, Mr. Cressman, Dr. Andreyko, Mr. Howe, and the board members of the Hall of Champions and Hall of Fame. It is a great privilege and an honor to be here to accept this award, and also to congratulate the other inductees who have received their awards before me and those who will receive them after. It certainly is a spectacular evening, one I'm sure our family will remember for a long time. When my father was at Georgetown, it was very easy to see in his first writings that he believed very deeply that in every individual there are certain inalienable rights. And his career was marked through his efforts, both in the law and in the community, to let those individuals, privileged and less privileged, to realize the opportunities of their inalienable rights. Whether it was tutoring FBI agents or whether it was providing a summer program for thousands of Montgomery County children. He believed in the sincerity of the individual spirit, and it's that spirit that is with him tonight. Thank you very much.
Salvatore P. Carfagno, class of 1943. Like so many high school graduates over the years, our Hall of Fame inductee took the advice of his father to make his college choice. Then, learning that physics was the science of the future, the rest was, as they say, history. Salvatore Carfagno graduated from Drexel University in 1947 with a degree in mechanical engineering. He enrolled at the University of Pennsylvania, where he received his master's in physics 2 years later, and then his doctoral degree at Temple University in 1963. Our inductee began as an adjunct professor in the physics department at Drexel Evening School, serving in that capacity for some 46 years. While teaching at Drexel, Dr. Carfagno worked at the Franklin Research Center, a division of the Franklin Institute, from 1948 to 1989. At the Franklin Institute, Dr. Carfagno held positions of principal scientist, director of nuclear engineering, and head of engineering. For 11 years, from 1989 to 2000, Dr. Carfagno served as a consultant to the Nuclear Regulatory Commission. He has had 23 technical papers published and has given lectures on nuclear engineering throughout the United States and Europe. Dr. Carfagno is listed in many Who's Who books and is a member of the American Physical Society, the American Nuclear Society, and the Franklin Institute. He resides in Gladwin, Lower Merion Township, with his wife, Ardia. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Salvatore P. Carfagno into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
Members of the committee, ladies and gentlemen, the literature I received said I could speak for 3 or 4 minutes, so now you have to listen to me. Sometimes, when I speak extemporaneously, I forget the best parts, so I'm going to read my remarks. First, I will say a few serious words, and then I will try to say a few words that I hope will entertain you. I have mixed feelings about being inducted into the Hall of Fame. On the one hand, I'm very happy to have been selected to be so honored, and I want to thank Dr. Anthony DiRenzo for nominating me. At the same time, I feel somewhat guilty because I can think of others equally or more deserving who are not in the Hall of Fame simply because no one took the time to nominate them. To alleviate my guilt, I have nominated a person I consider far more deserving of induction into the Hall of Fame, and I'm working to nominate another person likewise qualified. In addition, I have the feeling that my pleasure reflects a certain weakness in my character. But I am not a psychologist, so I will not dwell on this matter. In the few minutes I have left, I will try to entertain by telling you how I got started. After I had studied engineering and physics for 5 years, my mother drew me aside one day and told me that there were 2 things I had to do now. One was to get a job. The other was to get married. On the second subject, I told my mom that I did not know any girls. But she told me not to worry because she had already picked one out for me. When she told me the girl's name, I said, "Oh, Mom, she's skinny." Well, she told me not to worry about that either, because girls develop. Now, I was a freshly baked physicist, so the word develop had a special scientific connotation for me. So I wondered what it is that girls develop. Anyway, it turned out that the girl didn't want me anyway,
That was the end of one problem. As for getting a job, I had sent an application to the Franklin Institute in response to a posting I had seen on the university bulletin board, and I was invited to go in for an interview. At that time, I owned a beautiful silk gabardine suit, but I thought if I wore that suit, they would think I did not need a job. So I put on some old clothes and I went in for the interview. After being interviewed by several people, I was brought in to the head of the department. I tried to impress him with the fact that I would work hard if they hired me. His response was that they were not looking for hard workers, especially, but for people with ideas. Well, I didn't have any ideas, so I thought, that's the end of that. Now that I was away from the university, I had no idea how to look for a job. Every day, I would scan the want ads in the Norristown Times-Herald, the only publication arriving at our home at that time. But most of the ads were for bookkeepers and salesmen, and I didn't know anything about that. However, one day, I saw an ad for laborers at the Adolf Miller Nursery, located on Route 202, north of Norristown, where there is now a shopping center. I thought, that's something I can do. When I went to see the crew boss, he noticed that I had 2 arms and 2 legs, and I guess he considered me qualified, because he told me to show up on Monday morning, 7 a.m., with a lunch. They would pay me $1 an hour. For a few months, I got plenty of fresh air and exercise. We would dig trees out of the ground, carry them on our shoulders to a truck, drive to the homes of what I considered to be rich people, dig holes in their front yards, and put the trees into the holes. I continued to scan the want ads, but no one was looking for engineers or physicists. However, fortune was shining on me. One day I went home to find a telegram from the Franklin Institute offering me a position as junior engineer at a salary of $3,000 a year and to report for work as soon as possible. I went to work at the nursery as usual the next day, and I tried all day long to work up the guts to tell my boss that I had to quit. At the end of the day, I could not delay any longer, so I blurted out to my boss that I could not work for him anymore. I was going to work at the Franklin Institute Laboratories for Research and Development, as it was known at that time. That was a pretty big mouthful to swallow all at once, so he asked me to repeat what I had said. You see, most of the other laborers had not even finished high school, so he evidently could not picture one of them going to work in a research laboratory. He remained silent for a moment, then said, well, I guess one of our men is going to make it. The next day, my mom packed a lunch for me, and I went to work. I stayed at that job for more than 40 years. My greatest accomplishment was that I thoroughly enjoyed my work, and I had a great career. Thank you.
Carl G. Sander, class of 1948. His roots are here in the Norristown area, but our Hall of Fame inductee earned his business wings not only through a stint in the United States Air Force in England, but in his foreign travels for Scott Paper Company, the place where it all started for Carl Sander. A graduate of the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania and Michigan State University, where he received his master's degree in food distribution, Carl Sander joined the Scott Paper Company in Philadelphia, where he was associated with the company's international division. From 1968 to 1974, Carl was with McCormick and Company in Baltimore, advancing to managing director of a McCormick Company in Cheshire, England, where he was responsible for developing McCormick's business in Britain. From 1976 to 1979, Carl Sander was managing director of Country Kitchen Foods in Langford, England, a subsidiary of the Clorox Company. While there, Carl managed the UK's largest mushroom operation. Our inductee also managed a newly formed Clorox subsidiary to design and implement a business strategy for introducing Clorox products into Britain and the Scandinavian countries. He was also managing director of Romix Foods in Liverpool, England, from 1980 to 1982. Returning to the United States, Carl began his own company, a food brokerage firm headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida. While a student at Norristown High School, Carl was president of the Key Club, received Good Citizenship Awards, and was a member of the school's state championship basketball team. He resides in Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida, with his wife, Margaret. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Carl Sander into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
Well, of all the travels I've been able to experience, it all started in the Eagle territory of Norristown High School. Now, let me tell you, I've tried many, many things in business. I've formed many, many lasting relationships, but I always fondly remember my classmates in Norristown High School that made it possible for me to try different things, to organize, to participate in sports, and to socialize. You can't imagine how important it is to have a basis upon which to go forward in life than your high school. I was very, very impressed with the young children that came across here today. My goodness gracious, they really did have wonderful credentials that carry on our legacy. You know, when I look back on when I started thinking about my career, many things came into my mind. One was they had a play put on called Ramshackle Inn. And I tried out for the play. I was elected. I got a part, called my family, relatives, and I wanted them to come to see me perform. Unfortunately, I was killed in the first act. And therefore, I gave up my career in acting. Now, as I go through what I chose to do, you had to have a lot of faith in yourself. My parents were absolutely super. My family, very, very supportive. I tried different things. I wasn't prepared for things. Selling bathroom tissue in South Philadelphia is kind of funny, particularly when I was introduced to my wife's family, and they asked her what I did, and she was embarrassed to tell them. Then I went into mushroom business. I knew nothing about mushrooms, but Clorox said, you know, we need someone over here to turn this company around. How about running a mushroom operation? I had no idea what mushrooms are like. But it just goes to show you, if you just go forward and you got the credentials and you got the fundamentals and you get it right here in Norristown High School, believe me, you can do anything you want. Just follow your dreams and enjoy your life. Thank you very much for this award. I'm very, very impressed. Thank you.
David C. Fry, class of 1973. Asked why he chose his profession, our Hall of Fame inductee said that every day I get to explore the unknown, and if I'm successful, I know that I'll be helping people who are ill. David Fry received his BS degree in biology from Dickinson College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, 4 years after his 1973 graduation from Norristown Area High School. In 1982, he received his doctorate in biochemistry from Bryn Mawr College. He also studied at Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine in Baltimore. Dr. Fry is presently head of the Structural Chemistry Department at Hoffman LaRoche Company in Nutley, New Jersey. The drugs Passus for hepatitis C and Inverase and Fusion for HIV/AIDS are among the projects Dr. Fry has been involved with, helping seek cures for these dreaded diseases. Dr. Fry has published more than 35 papers in international scientific journals. He has also played significant roles in recent successes in preclinical work for type 2 diabetes and also soft tissue sarcoma. As a student at Norristown Area High School, Dr. Fry was president of the National Honor Society, as well as being a National Merit Scholar. Dr. Fry resides in Langhorne, Bucks County with his wife, Roseanne, also a member of the NAHS class of 1973. At this time, please welcome Dr. David Fry to the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
Well, that all sounded very impressive, but you should see me try to screw in a light bulb at home. I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame committee for selecting me for this award. I consider it a very significant honor. And hopefully my story will serve as a source of encouragement for the science students as they come through Norristown High. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming tonight and sharing this award with me. Thank you.
Guy Reinbold, class of 1974. To borrow a phrase, our final Hall of Fame inductee this evening really has moved up the food chain in his chosen profession. Guy Reinbold graduated first in his class at the Center for Technical Studies, formerly known as the Vocational Technical School, located in Plymouth Township. He then received a full scholarship to the Culinary Institute of America, and the future was in front of him. Following graduation, Guy was named executive chef at the Whitford Country Club in Exton and at the Chad's Ford Inn, both in Chester County. In 1976, he was named executive chef at the former Stouffer Valley Forge Hotel, where he won high honors from the American Culinary Federation for transforming the hotel from a dietary food system to a more progressive, contemporary hotel. In 1980, Guy helped to open the Winston Plaza Hotel in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, then moved to the Denver Concourse Hotel. He then went to the Baltimore, Maryland Harbor Place Hotel in 1987 and was named corporate chef for Renaissance Hotels by Marriott International. 6 years ago, Guy Reinbold was named Director of Culinary Development for Marriott Hotels, which made him responsible for concept development for all Marriott hotels. In 2000, Guy was promoted to Vice President of Culinary for Marriott, and 3 years ago, he returned to Baltimore as Director of Food and Beverage for the Baltimore Marriott Waterfront Hotel. In 2005, Guy was appointed Vice President of Owner and Franchise Services for Marriott International, headquartered in Washington, D.C. Guy Reinbold says there is no better buzz than a kitchen in full swing, and that buzz has enchanted Guy for 25 years. He presently serves as chairman of the American Culinary Federation and is a member of various advisory boards in the food industry. He's also active with various food banks in the Washington-Baltimore area. Guy resides in Ellicott City, Maryland with his wife Cindy and 2 daughters. It's our great pleasure to welcome Guy Reinbold into the Norristown Area High School Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank the committee, congratulate my fellow inductees, my friends, and most importantly, my family. I graduated 31 years ago from this high school, and I received this penny. And I haven't had my wallet until tonight. My daughter knows this story. I was writing my notes, and I put the penny down, and I couldn't find it. After 31 years, and by the way, Guido, that's why I ran out of here. I found it back in the men's room, okay? But as a senior in high school, I wondered, what is this penny all about? Over the years, I've grown to know that the penny stands for the values I received, not only at Norristown High School in the central Montgomery County Votech School, but for the Norristown area. As a chef, we're always looking for ingredients. The ingredients Norristown stands for, in my opinion, are pride, honesty, and integrity. I try to instill these ingredients in all I do. I am the luckiest person in the world because my friends, my family are with me today also believe in these values. Thank you, Norristown Area High School, for honoring me. I will continue to work hard to protect the ingredients I learned here. In closing, I'd like to recite a quote I read today. Stay connected to your senses as well as your instincts so that you're always acting from your heart. Thank you very much.
Outstanding, thank you. In closing, I'd like to congratulate our inductees and wish them well. Also, I'd like to thank everyone who has made the ceremony a night to remember. And please refer to pages 4 and 53 in your program for a complete list of all who helped make this night a night to remember. It's been a lot of hard work. It's been a great team effort, and I thank you all. I would like to invite everyone to join us in the cafeteria for refreshments and to meet and congratulate our new inductees. I would also like to remind everyone when you visit the cafeteria to take a moment to look at the new Paul Schellenberger Memorial Showcase. Although the showcase is not 100% complete, it is new and it's there. The showcase was donated by the Hall of Champions Association in honor of Paul Schellenberger. Paul was a longtime coach at Norristown High School and a member of the Board of Directors of the Hall of Champions Association. At this time, Reverend Dwayne Mosier did come and has volunteered to do the benediction for us. I'd like to introduce Reverend Dwayne Mosier, pastor of the Reformed Church of the Ascension, for our benediction. Dwayne.
It is an honor and a privilege to be here despite my tardiness earlier. I'd like to say I have a 5-day-old son at home, and it would be all that I could ask to have my child be educated at a school that celebrates life, as has been demonstrated this evening. So let us pause and give thanks for this life that we celebrate. We do give thanks for the life that we have been given. We give thanks for strong bodies and for strong minds. We give thanks for the abilities and talents that each of these people have demonstrated and for the example that they set forth for others. We give thanks for determination and dedication and the discipline that it takes to use each of our God-given talents to our best abilities. In a world that is filled with struggles and pain, we ask that our life would be filled with good things. We pray that each of these people will be filled with a spirit of life that will continue to use their gifts in good ways that will be the benefit of our communities and our world. And we pray that other generations may come and find their examples and will find the life that we celebrate tonight as something good and to be lived. May you all be filled with this spirit that God has given us. We pray this. Amen.
I'd like to ask you all to rise, and we'll sing the first verse of our alma mater. And for any of you who need to see what the words are, it's on page 6 of your program. And I'd also remind our inductees to stay in place so we can take pictures after we're done. Please stay there, inductees, please. Thank you. Coming right up. Okay, just make sure.